The Sciforror Film Podcast. Hello and welcome to another extra episode of the Sciforror Film Podcast. I am Andy Walker. I'm joined by my friend Badger, and this episode we have actress Tillie Murray. Hello Tillie, how you doing?
Hello, good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, welcome in.
Thank you very much for joining us. We're going to be talking about the new film, The R.I.P. Man 2. But before we get into that, I'll just start with a general thing. How did you get into acting and how did you get to where you are now?
Yeah, so I started out kind of doing commercials when I was a kid. So I was about 7 when I did my first commercial. And then I quickly moved into the theatre world when I was probably about 9, I would say.
Right.
And that's where I truly found my love for acting and performing. And I remember I just turned to my mom and I was like, this is what I want to do forever. Yeah, and I think working in theatre kind of shaped who I am as an actor. And then I started moving into film, short films. I did a film in 2020, which has now been put onto Disney Plus, which is very cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think I've been writing a lot more as well. And I think experimenting with that is really helpful to me as an actor as well, just getting into the backstory of every kind of character that I work on. Yeah, when I play a character, I always do like a journal entry as them, so I think writing really helps me to kind of get into people's mind spaces. Yeah, and I think recently I've worked on a film that I've written with my friend Sophie, and it's like a dark comedy type thing, and we filmed it in December on a beach in Southampton, a freezing cold beach. Yeah, and that will be released later in the year. So I've been experimenting with writing and also acting alongside that.
I also noticed that when I looked through your stuff that there's a couple of drama shorts and things that you not only wrote and acted in, but you also directed as well.
Yes. Yeah, I have my finger in every pie, I think. Yeah,
Nice.
I love kind of creating my own stuff. It's nice to have creative freedom, I think, over stuff that you do as an actor, because a lot of the time you get handed a script and you kind of just do exactly what it says on the page. So it's nice to explore other sides of it as well. And I just do things with my friends for a bit of fun, and hopefully it will lead to other bigger things. Yeah, I just love it. I love the whole industry and creating and writing and acting as well.
As I say, I mean, seeing you did a fantasy drama, All That Glitters, and you did
Yes.
other dramas, eco dramas, mysteries and comedies and all that sort of thing. You coming into the R.I.P. Man 2, which is a horror film. So how have you kind of made that transition from the dramas and comedies and things into horror?
That's interesting. As a kid, literally my big dream was to be in a horror film.
Oh wow, that's cool.
So yeah, this is really cool for me. My mum introduced me to horror films when I was far too young to watch a horror film.
Yeah, so do.
And I think the first one I watched was Annabelle, I want to say.
Oh really?
Right.
And I literally fell in love with the genre, and I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. Which is a very peculiar dream to have, I think, to like be possessed on screen. But yeah.
So you're quite new to the horror genre then, if you're one of your first films is Annabelle.
This is my first horror.
Yeah.
And
But
it's
I mean, in general, watching the horror films, Annabelle's quite a new film, really.
I know, yeah. Well, to be fair, that was the first one I watched. Then I watched the original Nightmare on Elm Street. So
okay, awesome.
Yeah, so I did get into the classics.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you say how now this is an interesting question, but how did Nightmare on Elm Street make you feel? Did it, never seeing it before? I'm very interested in how it made you feel as a,
It's like the classic, in my opinion, it's the classic horror film. I just
Yeah,
think the whole way through watching that film, I was just on the edge of my seat, and like it's such an exciting film. I know that some people might think that the storyline of it is a bit predictable, but yeah, I just love it. I love it so
yeah,
much. And I was terrified for weeks after watching that.
yeah. The practical effects of Freddy going through the wall are
Yeah,
fantastic, aren't they? Yeah,
yeah. I absolutely love that film. Yeah.
yeah. And
Cool.
I absolutely adore saying this fact. And you'll say, "Oh, why are you saying this again?" But it was Johnny Depp's first ever film, believe it or not.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's interesting. Wow. A great one. A great one.
Okay, so the R.I.P. Man, we reviewed the first film at the end of last year,
Hmm.
and it's done very well, become quite successful for them, and they're making the sequel. What can you tell us about the film and about how far through it they are?
Well, I don't want to spoil anything,
No.
but I can tell you my character, Cassie, she's part of the friendship group within the film. And the killer in this film is Chaz Porter, and he kind of takes a section of his victims' tongues.
no,
Um, so yeah, the story is it's a continuation from the first film, and it kind of explores the new killer and the old killer, and it kind of explores their connection. Um, but yeah, it's very exciting, and I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, you're gonna love it.
yeah.
So,
One thing I wanted to ask you is obviously you've worked in the industry for a little while. What do you feel the benefits and differences are to working with CGI and practical effects? Because horror obviously has a lot of practical effects and
Yeah.
CGI. So what do you prefer working with and why?
Ooh, I love practical effects because I feel like it's almost like theater in a way. It's very like in the moment. It's very I'm not very good at technical things, but I think it's so interesting to watch. And also when you're on the film and behind the scenes, seeing how it all works, I've always been so interested in that. And obviously one of the things that draws me to horror films. Yeah, I absolutely love it. And yeah, I think that kind of live and in the moment thing of where it happens right in front of you is it will never get old in my opinion. So yeah, I would say practical effects on top.
definitely. So how far through the making of the film are they? How close to being finished is it?
They've done quite a lot, as far as I'm aware. I did a night shoot for my kind of section, which, yeah, we were there for, I think, 13, 14 hours. And that was such a cool experience. We filmed in an escape room. So it was very full on. But yeah, from what I've heard, they've been non-stop filming. So I'm thinking they're quite the way through.
Okay. Um, so I mean, with your experience of doing the R.I.P. Man, do you want to work with the crew again and possibly do more horror films with them?
100%. Yeah. I mean, it was so great to work with Jamie, the director. He had such a clear vision of what he wanted. And as soon as I met him, he just is so passionate about what he does, and kind of bringing the story to life. So, yeah, as soon as I met him, I want to work with him again immediately.
Mm.
Yeah. And also the co-producer on the film, Jay, I've also worked with him on another film called The Tree That Fell. It's based on climate change and it's, the harsh reality of what's going on in the world right now. It's kind of based on poems that we've written, so writing elements as well. And it's really powerful and he's again so passionate about what he does. So it was great to work with him on this. And he was actually the one that introduced me to the materials on this and how I got to audition. So
Cool.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
yeah.
One thing I was going to ask you, you mentioned that there was a 13 or 14-hour shoot. How do you not sort of like die of boredom during that sort of time? What do you have to do to keep yourself motivated on a long shoot like that?
I think the adrenaline just guides you through. Because we were all so locked in on what we wanted to do and also focused. There wasn't really a moment where I kind of realized how long I'd been there or what time it was. And we filmed in a shopping center at night and an escape room. So it was very weird being there at like 4 or 5 in the morning.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think night shoots are so cool. And I think that the idea that you're not supposed to be somewhere and working somewhere where you're not supposed to be at that
Yeah.
time, it's so exciting to me. And yeah, it doesn't really get old, I don't think. And we were all just kind of guiding each other through and supporting each other. And everyone was lovely. So that helps as well. And we had snacks, lots of snacks.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool. So, do you don't know when it's likely to be being released or any kind of details about that sort of thing?
No, I'm not sure. I think it's a surprise for me and you.
Well, I'm sure when they bring it up, I'm hoping when they bring it out that they'll put it through the festival circuit and that maybe we'll
Oh
get it.
yeah. Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Um, so what for you for the future? What's your next? Have you got any projects lined up already, or do you?
Yeah, I mean, the one that I just told, the Rotten film that I'm doing, it's going into editing now. So hopefully that'll be released later this year. I also worked on the end credits song for that because I write songs as well.
oh,
So yeah, so having kind of written it and starred in it and also getting to do the song for the end is really cool. So that's going to be a major passion project that'll be released. Yeah, and then I've got a few other short films that I'm doing with some friends over the summer. Finishing filming for this, which will be released hopefully soon. Yeah, I'm always busy and I'm always looking for new projects to get my teeth into.
oh, well, on the back of that, then I do have a question because obviously R.I.P. Man had a lot of British music in. Have you sort of suggested that you might put a song in or
No,
anything
I
like that?
haven't.
Oh, you should.
I
You should.
haven't. I haven't.
You
Yeah, that
should.
would be so cool though.
See,
Yeah.
maybe maybe you should do that. Maybe you should put forward an idea. Could I write a song for a particular scene? You know.
Yeah, that would be very cool. I don't know because my vibe isn't with music. I'm not sure if the vibe is horror film, but I guess I can explore that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, why not suggest it? Because it's worth a go. If they're still in production, you could, have an ask, couldn't you? Why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
very cool. Yeah.
Yeah. What I did want to ask you is you mentioned earlier about you were in some adverts and stuff for TV. Can
hmm
you tell us what ones they were?
Yeah, so I did my first ever job when I was 7 was the Wool's ice cream advert.
Oh wow.
Right.
Which was such an alien experience to me at the time because I'd never been on a set before. I was so new to everything, and my mum kind of chaperoned me, and she dropped me off, and this guy just like whisked me through these woods and like onto this set with loads of strangers that I didn't know. Um, and yeah, it was so cool. I was the hula hoop girl, so I did some hula hooping, and it was all about parents that kind of neglect their children and don't give them enough time, and yeah, it was an interesting one.
Quite deep for a Walls ice cream advert then.
Exactly. Yeah, people are always shocked that I say that is a Wool's ice cream advert. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was more of kind of a short film type thing. It was really cool. Um, yeah, and then the other one I did was a Barclays Bank commercial. It was about coding and computer science and things like that,
Cool.
which was
Cool.
cool.
I what was I going to say? I can't, oh yeah, I noticed you kind of moved in and out of doing stage work as well,
hmm
and voiceovers. And do you still keep up with that sort of thing?
Oh yeah, I would love to do some more theatre. I think theatre is definitely where my heart is, and that's yeah, as I said, that's the thing that kind of introduced me to what it feels like to really just enjoy what you do. And
Right.
yeah, I did a play at Hampstead Theatre in London for a summer when I was 11. And it was the first kind of straight acting role that I'd done where it wasn't all kind of glitz and glam. It was very dark. It was a thriller. Um, and yeah, just you can't beat the live audience interaction and kind of hearing people's reactions to what you're doing live in the
Mm.
moment. I just think is so amazing. Um, yeah, and then I also recently wrote a one-woman play, which I put on in a theatre in Camden, just for all my friends to see. And it was very ambitious of me, I will admit. But yeah, I did some songs and did lots of monologues and things, just stuff that I'd written over the years. Um, and yeah, I did that when I was 18, so that was very cool. And I would love to do more theatre because yeah, it's just you can't beat it.
That's cool. That's cool. I've talked on this show through doing this show. I've managed to do some interviews with some people, especially this year, and I've noticed that there seems to be a wave of younger people coming into British filmmaking, and especially British horror filmmaking, which you're part of. And there's what's it feel like to be kind of like in this new wave, if you like, of British talent coming into the film arena?
I love it. I think I'm always so inspired by people that I meet that are in the industry, and especially now, I think the opportunity is kind of endless. And I love working on things that aren't necessarily sticking to the norm of what people do. I think it's so cool when you experience filmmakers that are making kind of abstract work and stuff that is kind of left up to audience interpretation. I think that's something that I'm really
Yeah,
passionate about. Where people can interpret and perceive things differently. Yeah, and I think right now is the peak of British cinema, and people are making things and they're younger and younger when they're making it, and I think
yeah,
that is something that's really, really cool. Um, yeah, I love it.
absolutely. No, it's great. Okay, do you have any more questions, Petra?
Yeah, just obviously, when you've been on the R.I.P. Man 2 site, like obviously on the films and things like that, how did you feel it was like interacting with everyone? Were you nervous because some people might have had more experience than you, or how did you feel like as a whole on the set?
Yeah, I mean, I was a bit nervous coming into it because obviously this is my first horror film. So I think horror as a genre is very separate to everything else. It feels like very, I don't know, just my first horror job, I was like, wow, this is a big deal.
Yeah,
Um,
because I mean, horror has been going in the UK for forever. I mean, you've got
yeah,
Hammer and stuff like that. So you're now part of a big, thing. Hammer
yeah,
horror's been going forever and stuff like that. And like Andy was saying, you're like the new wave of horror actors, and that's a big, responsibility. So
yeah,
I hope you
exactly.
are up to the task. You got this.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it was so easy because everyone was so lovely, and immediately when I got there the environment was very focused. It wasn't like everyone was there for a jolly, everyone was there
Yeah.
doing their job, and immediately as soon as I got there I was in costume and I was going basically.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
very
We had
professional.
Yeah, exactly. We had a lot to get through in one night, and yeah, we got it all done and still had time to spare. I think that says a lot about how on it the film crew were. Um, yeah, and it just such a cool experience and a first time for me working in filming in an escape room. And
Yeah.
the set itself was so impressive. Yeah, I loved it, and
So
everyone was so lovely.
you've mentioned the escape room a couple
Yeah.
of times. So, this is a spoiler, I suppose, isn't it? Can you sort of, if you can't tell us exactly what happens, can you tell us how it felt to be doing it? Did your character have to work out stuff? Can you give us a little bit of information there?
Yeah, without spoiling it, um, my character has to work out a lot and kind of explore different rooms, and it was honestly scary for me as a person, not even acting,
I was
because
going to say, like being in an enclosed space late
yeah,
at night as well. Was that,
exactly,
yeah, how did that feel?
yeah, with a bunch of strangers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely a bit daunting. But yeah, it all adds to the feel of the film, and everyone made it very easy for me to not be completely terrified.
Oh, that's great, yeah.
But yeah, it was very cool, and definitely the environment added to everything that was going on in the film. Yeah.
Oh, cool, cool. Right, well, thank you very much for coming on the show, for doing the
Thank
interview.
you. Thank you
It's
for
been
having
great to
me.
talk to you. I will put up links to your social media so people can check out what you're doing and keep an eye on that. So keep an eye out for Tillie in the future, and keep an eye out for the R.I.P. Man. There have been updates and things put on Facebook, and I'm sure they'll put more out when they know more about what they're doing as far as releasing it as goes. Thank you very much, Tillie.
Thank you so much for having me. Have a lovely day.
And you, it's been wonderful. Thank
So,
you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Right, well, it's great to talk to Tillie there from the R.I.P. Man 2, so keep an eye out for all of that, and we'll be back with our normal episodes, and there will be more extra episodes which Badger will be taking part in some way in the future. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we will see you again soon. Bye.
see you later. Thanks for watching.
The Sciforror Film Podcast.